Το επόμενο σημείο στην ημερήσια διάταξη αφορά την Ευρωπαϊκή Πρωτοβουλία Πολιτών Stop Finning, Stop the Trade, σταματήστε την πρακτική αφαίρεση πτερυγίων, σταματήστε το εμπόριο. Εκ μέρους των εισηγητών έχει το λόγο για 2 λεπτά ο κύριος Bas EICKHOUT από την Επιτροπή Περιβάλλοντος, Δημόσιας Υγείας και Ασφάλειας Τροφίμων.
Yes, was waiting for the microphone. Good morning, everyone, on this lovely Thursday morning. First of all, I really would like to congratulate the people that took the initiative of this European Citizens Initiative on Stop Finning, Stop the Trade. Within 2 years, having more than 1.1 million signatures from all the 27 member states. So this is, to us, really a key example of a very successful European Citizens Initiative, which then also should be taken seriously and should get a follow-up, and that's, of course, the point of the discussion also today. Just on the matter, we know already that it is forbidden to remove fins on boards of ships and also to trade them. So we need to bring them on land in an entire form. But we also know that still the EU remains a huge hub for shark fins. And it's a main export and transit center for Asia. And relatively speaking, the role of Europe is getting bigger because global trade is going down and the European role remains comparable. And with that, relatively speaking, our role becomes bigger. And that is undeniable. I know sometimes industry tries to deny the facts, which you cannot do. This also, of course, relates very much back to the discussion we had yesterday on restoration law. When we are talking about restoring nature and restoring our ecosystems, sharks are crucial for our marine ecosystems. So we do want to see action from the Commission. The sharks are protected under CITES, and also last year in Panama, more shark species were added to the Appendix 2 list of CITES, showing that now more or less 90% of the traded shark and ray species are falling under CITES, which shows that we have serious concerns with sharks. So it's an endangered species. The practices are cruel, so let's act on it. And that's also the very clear demand from the citizens. And this is also then the very clear question to the Commission. You will probably say nice words about the initiative, but we want to hear concretely what is the Commission going to do with this demand from our citizens. Thank you very much.
Σας ευχαριστώ και τώρα το λόγο έχει ο κύριος Christensen από την Επιτροπή Αλίας.
Good morning, kommissæren. Jeg er meget glad for at kunne være med til at indlede den her debat i dag omkring det europæiske borgerinitiativ Stop Finning, Stop Trade her i salen. Initiativet hvor der er godt 1 million, der har skrevet under på det her initiativ, og det skal vi tage meget alvorligt som parlamentarikere, at der er så mange, der ønsker at få den her debat synliggjort. Det handler om demokrati, og derfor er den her debat meget, meget vigtigt. Hajer spiller en vigtig rolle i økosystemet. Siden midten af 80'erne har hajer været udsat for stadig større fiskeripres og en større efterspørgsel på hajfinner, især på det asiatiske marked. EU har naturligvis handlet i 2003 og herefter i 2013. I over 20 år har det været forbudt at skære finner af haj i EU-farvande og på alle EU-fartøjer. Og det ser fuldstændig vanvittigt ud, at andre steder, der skal man have hajfinnerne af og smide resten af kroppen ud i vandet. Det er simpelthen uetisk, og specielt også, når der er tale om en truet art. Det gør EU til en førende aktør på verdensplan i forhold til at bevare og forvalte hajer på en bæredygtig måde. Formålet med deres initiativ er at gå et skridt videre og forbyde handel med hajfinner og herunder import, eksport og transit med disse produkter. I marts sidste år blev det her forslag præsenteret i PES-udvalget af initiativtagerne og for kommissæren. Kommissæren meddelte dengang, at kommissionen vil komme med en meddelelse inden juli 23, og det håber jeg så, at vi ser her i løbet af kort tid. Dagens debat er en god mulighed for at udveksle synspunkter omkring den her alvorlige problemstilling, og jeg glæder mig til debatten, og tak fordi at alle deltager i den demokratiske proces om sådan et alvorligt problem. Tak.
Σας ευχαριστώ και τώρα εξ ονόματος της Επιτροπής το λόγο έχει ο Επίτροπος κ. Σινκεβίτσιους.
Good morning, Honourable President, honourable members. The European Citizens Initiative that we are discussing today rightly points to worrying situation of sharks globally and to the role that demand for shark fins in Asia plays in this. And we share these concerns of citizens, and therefore we are active both within and outside the European Union when it comes to protecting sharks and promoting sustainable fishing. In view of international dimension of the shark fins trade, it is important to ensure adequate rules within the EU and internationally. The EU actively promotes the conservation and sustainable management of sharks, as well as the fins naturally attached policy in regional fisheries management organizations and in other relevant international fora. The practice of shark finning is already banned in all regional fisheries management organizations. Some shark species need protection through a retention ban. Other species can still be fished sustainably through appropriate conservation and management measures. And those conservation and management measures may include a limited total allowable catch. Since 2008, EU law, and namely the Marine Strategy Framework Directive, requires that shark populations in our waters are healthy and abundant, and that human activities do not harm them. And with the nature restoration law proposal, we continue our efforts by seeking the restoration of the habitats of shark and ray species. The EU also works actively under two international conventions to protect sharks. Firstly, the EU is a signatory of the Memorandum of Understanding of the Conservation of Migratory Sharks, which concerns research, sustainable fishing, habitat protection, and international cooperation. Secondly, the EU is an active member of the Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, CITES, which, among others, regulated trade of sharks and their products. So the EU promotes CITES protection for marine species and incorporates its decision in its own legal setup, including trade restrictions for relevant species. Given this solid international framework, sharks caught by the EU fleet in compliance with both CITES and regional fisheries management organizations' rules are considered as legitimate fish products. At EU level, since 2003, the so-called EU shark finning regulation prohibits the removal of shark fins on board of all vessels in the EU waters, as well as the retention on board, transshipment or landing of shark fins. In 2013, the regulation was amended to enforce fins naturally attached policy. So currently all sharks targeted by commercial fishing must be retained on board and must be landed with their fins naturally attached, and there are no derogations from this obligation. The fins can be removed only upon landing. This applies to EU fishing vessels wherever they operate, even beyond EU waters. Honourable members, this was a short outline of what we are already doing, both within and outside the European Union, to protect the sharks and to promote sustainable fishing. And I have already had privilege to meet twice with organizers of this citizens' initiative, once during the dedicated meeting with the Commission and a second time in the European Parliament hearing. Both encounters and discussions were a welcome opportunity to better understand the objectives of the initiatives and to discuss possible further actions to reinforce the EU policy on the protection of sharks. Against this background, the Commission is currently preparing the reply to the European Citizens' Initiative, Stop Finning, Stop the Trade, which it will adopt by July 2023, in line with the provisions of the ECI regulation. Thank you.
Σας ευχαριστώ. Προχωρούμε στον κύκλο των